The 3rd of October, 1935, the Italians have invaded Ethiopia. 200,000 soldiers of the Italian army march from Eritrea into Ethiopia, with Mussolini's goal to unify Italian Eritrea and Italian Somalia. The Emperor of Ethiopia stands against a modern army of Europe. Haile Selassie, will he stand and fight? Or will he seek allies elsewhere? One of the hardest challenges in Hearts of Iron 4 is here. By Blood Alone, the new expansion for Hearts of Iron 4. And this video is sponsored by Paradox Interactive. Some expansions I love, some expansions I hate, some ones I have mixed feelings about. Regardless of Switzerland and Italy, Ethiopia is a fantastic nation to play. And one of the main reasons for it, it is a massive challenge. All the major YouTubers attempted this at PDXCon and no one got it on their first try.
Save the game. Come on. I'm not in a position. You're too busy losing Africa right now.
I'm not losing Africa.
It's just the free time of Libya.
I'm going to show you a flawless strategy, meaning that you will get it on your first try. Ethiopia, 1936, January the 1st. We are at war with Ethiopia. We do not have a moment to take a breath before the Italians are banging on our back door and the front door. Yeah, there's two fronts, which makes things even more difficult. Ooh, yeah, here we go. By Blood Alone, classic Paradox rework, and we are surrounded with, oh that's right, red national spirits. The spirit of losing historically. This will not be a historical game we are going to hold against the Italians. The first thing you want to study is this. Traditional warfare. Entrenchment speed minus 50%. Honestly, don't rely on entrenchment. It's not very good for Ethiopia. Don't do it. Just focus on raw stats. Secondly, indecisions. The longer the war progresses for, the more bonuses we get as the war escalates more and more. However, if we manage to hold for a significant amount of time early game, this escalation will jump up to 5 practically instantly. Mussolini, your days are numbered. First of all, research. So in this case, support weapon to give that bonus, and we will work towards radio, which will be useful. You've got one civilian factory, build a bit of infrastructure, and then import a little bit of steel from the UK. National focuses. We'll start with the Second Italo-Ethiopian War, giving loads of war support, which is really handy. First part of the plan, we've got divisions here. 7 of them are going to go on the south. You know what? Scratch that. 8 of them are going to go on the south, and the rest of them are going to go in the north. The best defensive general is this gentleman. Very spicy. Mulu Geta Yegazu of Ilu. He's going to defend. We're going to go 3 speed, and we are going to unpause. Here we go. First thing, do not railroad. You're going to lose all your organization, and you need organization initially. 2, do not try and reinforce these northern battles. Just let them lose and let them get pushed back. At the very start of the game, you are suffering from the Christmas offensive. You are going to lose these initial battles. Just accept it, and you will get pushed through these mountains. And the dreaded air of the Italians, with the air rework as well. Yeah, they will cast strike you. Yeah, it'll be painful. And yeah, they will break you very easily. I want you to grab a single militia division, one of these ones. Pause. So this guy is a militia. Militia are a new kind of battalion, and they have bonuses against attacking into hills, mountains, and deserts. They use very low supply. Stay here. We're going to have one militia here, and then we'll have another militia here. We'll need this, because if you notice, there is a nation to our east here, the Sultanate of Asa. They are skilled warriors in the desert. Makes sense? They're in the desert. On historical, the Italians will send an ultimatum against them and completely annex them. You need to be quick to move troops into the territory. You'll see. First off, we've got 10 political power. Welcome to the new balance of power. So I thought this initially was like the tribesmen versus the government. Turns out these are both feudal hierarchies. These are kind of the tribesmen, the lower class aristocrats. And on the right side, these are the more higher class aristocrats, like for instance, the emperor, this chap, by the conquering line of the tribe of Judea, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Elect of God. What's with monarchists? With titles, eh? Isn't it good enough to already be on the top? But no, you want more titles. Anyway, we're going to recall Balcho Kazooie from retirement. And this will move the balance of power towards the clansman, and it'll gain his 1 irregular infantry. Trust me, that 1 infantry is going to make a big difference, so I recommend you do it. Okay, he has returned. He's here, and we're going to attach him to the northern front line. Also, we've got another militia here that looks like they're about to break, so I'm going to retreat them here and move them here and remove them from the army. And the first tile has been taken. What you'll notice is if they're shuffling around, they might try to attack the front line. Just press H to stop them from pushing in. You don't want them to attack. Right now, we can't win, so we need to just let them push into us. Action in the south here. They're more likely to break the desert tiles here, so move one of you guys to the center and just make sure we hold. Trust me, they will do quite well in the south. They'll be just fine by themselves. The push continues. The second Ethiopian War. Right, we're going to hop into production now, and we are going to cheese. I'm sorry, Paradox. I love you. Let's make transport planes. That's right. Did you know that Ethiopia was the first commercial airline in all of the world? In this timeline, it is anyway. And we're going to make some transport planes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And we're going to produce 2 transport planes, which will take a few weeks. We've got 1. Let's make the air wing. That's right. The new reworked air system. Wow. And we can create an air wing now in 2 clicks. Thank you, Paradox. Thank you. And that is the second plane constructed. Wow. The first commercial airline, not only in Africa, but the entire world. And now we can do an exploit. I'm sorry. Anyway, set it to air supply, add it to an area, in this case over here, and then you're going to press D to split and then G to merge. And if you look really closely in command power, oh yeah, that's right, exponential command power. And that is needed to assign your high command. And there's a lot of good high commands you can go for early game to gain you some quite juicy bonuses to give you lots of defense. Ah, there we go, just lots and lots of command power. Yes, this will trigger your RSI, I'm so sorry, but you could always make more transport planes if you wanted to. Okay, that will do for now. Now we're not going to select a focus because we need to assign some juicy guys like this infantry specialist, giving you a nice juicy 10% extra defense, which will go a long way. One element you don't have a great amount of control over is if your divisions collapse, which basically means is if they're stuck in reserve and they can't reinforce quick enough, which will happen because you've not got radio and you've not got any extra reinforce rate bonuses. The way you get around that is you promote your best infantry guy, this gentleman. You can promote him quicker because he's got the promotion bonus. He's now your field marshal. Once again, you've got unlimited command power, so you can just assign the traits immediately. Charismatic, organization first. Recovery is really useful because you're going to need every bit of org. And reinforce rate. This will stop you from completely collapsing and all your divisions getting kicked back. And then you assign a general. This is very important because there are some generals here that look really good, like this guy. However, you want to go for someone who's already got a terrain trait. And this guy is the boyo. I love his cheeky smile. A cheeky chappy indeed. He's a hillfire. There aren't actually surprisingly many hills in Ethiopia. They're mostly mountains. So what will happen is you will grind the mountaineer trait and then we'll get adaptable. That's right. That old chestnut. Now we're going to rally around the emperor. So you can either do the historical path by boarding the train and trying to get help from the Europeans, or you do the ahistorical path where the emperor stays behind and does his best to rally the troops. However, some of the bonuses under boarding the train are very spicy, and I'm going to show them off to you now. Okay, Italy moves to annex the Sultanate of Assar, and in this case, this nation will disappear in a second. Is he going to go? Is he going to go? And they have been annexed. Goodbye. Move the front line over and move the militias over immediately as well. What you can do is move this guy here just to pin them in place. What will happen is they'll railroad from here to here, so more than likely you'll not be able to hold much. If you manage to grab this one, you're winning. But now we pin one of them in place. Will we get the other? You got to be quick. Oh, and we get the other one. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And there we go. We've got an extra military factory, but we've lost our steel from France. One of the desert tiles in the north has broken. As long as we hold this one, we'll be okay. Unfortunately, this requires quite a lot of micromanagement. There's not a lot you can do about it. It is what it is. Before you can win, you must lose a little bit. And unfortunately, we've lost this one as well. It is what it is. Sometimes RNG is not in your favor. In that case, I feel like I need a little command power to compensate. Yeah, just a little bit more command power. Oh, that's great. If anyone's wondering, this isn't like a new exploit, by the way. PDX haven't broken the game here. This is an old exploit from ages ago. I think this has been around since, like, the Resistance, I think. Anyway, we've rallied around the Emperor. Yay. Now we can board the train. But before we can board the train, we have to select a nation to exile to. We'll try Germany to begin with. Don't know what's happening here, but they seem to prioritizing the western flank here. In this case, maybe you can try to counterattack. We'll give it a go. Germany has accepted our host government. Can now board the train, which sadly makes us more likely to surrender. Be aware that if you're losing massively, the minute you click this, you will instantly die because this will drop you below your surrender limit. You don't do this if you're losing. You only do this as if you're winning. So this is what I was talking about. If your defense is fantastic, which it is, you hold the north and you hold the south, you are going to have more war support. So you will have more ability to attack and counterattack into your own territory. But also, you'll gain more war escalation. You'll jump all the way to number 5. And you can do all these spicy things at 5. But you really want the 4, actually, because that's the one you want. You see that? Ethiopia can purchase arms. Focus unlocked. You'll see why that's really cool in a little while. International reputation grows. The escalation has gone up, and we've been rewarded with political power. We have literally made it rain. And the 2 escalations... And we're now at 5, and we boarded the train. So this front line looks like it's breaking. 30 days, 2 divisions of low org, reinforce. You know the drill. Micro, micro, micro. Abuna! Now we're going to address the League of Nations. Time to stall. 70-day focus. Oof. Can we go 5 speed? Am I brave enough to do the 5 speed? Let's do it. Oh my goodness, look how fast the new patch runs. I am speed. So the front line is about to collapse here. We'll try and counterattack while the north is doing pretty well. 50 days to hold. They're not going to break that. In this case, we're going to pull the division off the north and put it on the south because the south is what's faltering at the minute. The hill fighter Boyo has become trained. And look at this lad. Oh, he's such a guy. Make him an infantry specialist? Yes. We are holding on all fronts. You reach a certain point of stability, you feel like, oh, I feel pretty confident I can hold this. And I think I'm at that point now. A military academy. 35 days. Gives you a bunch of bonuses. It is definitely worth it. And it fires a really juicy event, which you'll see shortly. All right, we've got the basic weapons. We can go for machine tools to get a little bit of production going. Having a big stockpile of guns is going to go a long way in this campaign, which you'll see later on. Adaptable. My boy. The Archbishop of the Church, which gives loads of stability. Boom! 72 stability. Nice. Meaning we won't get a crisis, and crisis is going to earn a lot of your political power gain. Boom! What do you want to do? Do you want to attack? Do you want to defend? Or do you want to gain experience? Yeah, of course we're going to attack. It's all about the attack. And now we can purchase weapons from the UN. Wait, hang on. No, not the UN. The League of Nations. Oof. Was that wrong? All right. Version 1 of the UN. Big oof. Yeah, and we're fully holding the front line now. And I think the front line feels proper safe now. Yeah, it looks really good. Arms purchases is here. Purchase small arms, 50 political power. This gives you 2,000 guns from France. It absolutely massive. And you can fire that like every 2 weeks. So huge. So this is your militia division. This is a pre-arranged division that you lose after the Civil War. The only real division you've got is this one at the very start of the game. So make that one elite. And then we'll also give it a different icon, the poor. And what we can do is make that division a little bit bigger to give it just a little bit more firepower. Purchase the small arms. And there you go. Our weapon deficit has halved. And this just makes our defense significantly stronger. Logistics wizard. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Keep an eye on your decisions and boom, more guns. You got 2 options now. You either go for a white peace for the international mediation. Don't want that because you're going to lose Eritrea and you're going to lose Somaliland. You don't want that. So in this case, go down the path of reclaiming Ethiopia. Anti-Italian propaganda. Here come the guns. Almost in the green. Train 2 more divisions. Make the division a little bit bigger. And add on an extra 2 infantry. 12 width will do. Purchase more arms. You can never really have that many French guns, can you? Can you? Oh my goodness. Most of the guns now are foreign. It's attempting to go for the encirclement, but my advice is don't. Try to gradually push her over this northern front line. Delete the front line here, then you can just gradually push southwards. Off you go. Oh dear, it's the muddy season. What a time to do an offensive, right? All right, mud is gone. Second one. Go, go, go. We're actually doing proper damage now. In that case, make sure you go for infantry expert. Entrenchment, be gone. What is the AI doing here? This could go awfully wrong. Keep making the division bigger. Push, push, push. What is this? This isn't Ethiopian territory. We're breaking through to the other side, lads. Italy offers us peace. No. Mr. Mussolini getting a little bit nervous, are we? Enemy desertions. That's a load of guns. We've not even researched artillery, so we can't even add artillery on. Oh, well. 2 ports you want to secure is this one in the south and this one in the center. If you grab those 2, you're winning. Southern one secured, and the center one is secured. The Italians are broken. And do you know what we do now? You're about to see something so unbelievably broken. You are not ready for this. Front line with my best infantry. Avoid the desert, go straight through the mountains. In the south, we'll secure the ports because we need to hold on to those. And then we're going to go for the renewed offensive. Pretty straightforward, right? Get an extra attack bonus. Not too bad. And the center ones are the ones that will push. And we will call this Mountain Bonus OP. Offensive Operation. It's very offensive. You will see. And then we can do the Northern Thrust, which means you will push through mountains with a 25% attack bonus and also a 50% breakthrough bonus. Paradox, you are spoiling us. The Northern Thrust! Go! And be aggressive! And you can see here, local offensive, plus 50% breakthrough, 25% attack for 90 days. Just so broken. And I can't say no to it. The amount of damage I'm doing right now is just ridiculous. Italians are like, what happened? How come they're suddenly OP out of the blue? Ethiopia, strong, and push. And here, pin, pin, pin. And just walk straight in. Wow, that was pretty easy, right? Damn! Get wrecked, son. The People's War. We have max escalation, gaining loads of free military factories. Very strong. And now we can hop over here and start to develop our capital region. This is important because you need to connect up the railways, and we don't really have much production to do that. So my recommendation is do that. Got him. Okay, don't forget to reclaim Ethiopia, otherwise you can have a democratic coup. Libya has been liberated. Okay. Connecting the south, gain a supply hub. Yes. And also, if you look really closely, the railway lines aren't connected. Why? As soon as you're still at war with Italy, you might as well just steal as much equipment as possible from the League of Nations. You can also get artillery if you've got it researched as well. Connecting the south. Then we can develop the Horn of Africa. This is super important, which you'll find out very shortly. All right, now we're going to support the anti-colonial resistance, which will allow Djibouti and British Somaliland to rise up. Then we can connect the Horn of Africa and unify all of East Africa. Oh no, France. Hang on, Vichy France appeared before France fell there. Sussy. Now we have Vichy France in Djibouti. And then we can rise up anti-colonial resistance. Boom. And there we go. Resist Djibouti. One of the long-term issues you're going to run into is if you stick with the irregulars, the militia, you can get some awesome bonuses. However, you will run out of manpower at some point, and you are going to need a lot of manpower. So my advice to you is try to reform your military by going for this focus, which will transform your nation to a more of a traditional army. However, we need support for the right side of the balance of power to do that. We're quite far away. So to do that is to reform the bank, and that will slowly move you in that direction. It also fixes some of the corruption problems as well. So to support the resistance, you can only do one at a time, and it costs you 25 command power. Oh, did we say that we have unlimited command power? That's not going to be an issue then. So the way this works is it'll set the resistance to 80%. It'll slowly tick up to 80%. When it gets to 70%, then you can start supplying the resistance with arms, which will make them revolt. And now we can reform our army. So right now, if you can see, we're on the Cheetet, which hurts our industry a little bit. However, the big downside is that 4.5% recruitable, which is higher than volunteer only. However, you're going to need a lot more manpower late game, so we're going to need that now. Now. Djibouti is at 70%. We can send them some guns. And then what will happen then, do you think? Oh, what will happen? The guns have arrived. 100%! And now we have an independent Sultanate of Assar. Hang on a second. That's what this nation was. They have a core on either of those? Anyway, you've gone for the Horn of Africa focus. You'll now have the option to improve the infrastructure of your nation. So any nation in the Horn of Africa should allow you to slowly and truly integrate them. That's the long-term plan. And we can do the same for British Somaliland. There we go. We've expanded the Mehal Safari. Let's go on safari, lads. And immediately we can hop on to extensive conscription, which will give us more manpower overall. And as I said to you earlier, trust me, we're going to need it. The Somali Sultanate has broken free, and we'll do the exact same thing with them. Oh, we want to develop inside your land. I wonder why. I'll say it again. Make sure there are at least 60% resistance before you supply them with arms. Integration! Boom! That's right, we took the territory for Vichy France, and we're not at war with them. They just didn't care. Oh wait, hang on, we are at war with them. Never mind. I guess that Italian war never actually ended. I forgot that. Okay, we're going to need a division now. We're going to need a load of them. So in this case, I think what we'll do is make a smaller, more condensed version of this. So yeah, 14 width, and then pump them out in numbers. See, this is why we need the manpower. Integrate the Somali Sultanate. Boom! And unify the Horn of Africa. And not only that, we get options to conquer more territory as well. Now we're about to enter probably the most interesting part of this focus tree. And I discovered this fairly recently. So you got juicy bonuses down this right side by going for the Parliament. Makes an area an urban region. Developing it seems pretty good, right? But then you look down here. Empower the RAS. Stability, war support, pretty vanilla. Then you go here, the Federal Empire. This balkanizes Ethiopia. Self-Balkanization of Ethiopia. Why would you do it? You're about to find out why, and it's mad OP. Okay, time to go for service supply requirement. The Federal Empire. Prepare for chaos. Ah, that old chestnut asking for guns from Stalin. It still works. More. A Federal Empire. Border gore. Oh! What were you thinking, Dave? What were you thinking? Well, this is what I was thinking. Each of these have their own focus tree, so they will develop their own individual regions, which will give more and more factories. Then what I can do with the Horn of Africa national focus is reintegrate them again, building them from the ground up. And you're probably thinking, Dave, you've been sitting on a lot of political power all game. Why have you done that? Well, this is the reason why. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. And we'll reinvest into the ones we've already integrated as well. Build a communications network and all the vassals. Yes. You thought the spiciness was done, right? Oh no, we've not even begun. African unity. You can cause resistance to rise up anywhere in Africa. However, this just caused one of my puppets to break away, so I don't want to do that. So we'll just hold on to that for the time being. But when we do this, that's when we grab the entirety of the continent. We are well and truly going to bless the rains down in Africa. Railways. Boom. Everywhere. What next? Industry. 2 cities per click. Investments complete. Now we've got the option to integrate them all, but we'll wait for a few of them to finish some of their focuses, gaining infrastructure and a few civilian factories. Okay, it's time. African unity, and boom. Oh, we've not got enough political power, but boom. Annex a bunch of the nations, and another one. Another one. Boom. 2 left. And the final one, unification of the Horn of Africa. Again, now we have 30 civilian factories and 10 military factories. African unity. And you know what we can do now? Arm the Nigerians. Here we go. Nigeria has declared independence. And we can demand the recognition of Nigeria from the UK. And they choose freedom. Well, I guess the African Union's expanded, I suppose. Huh. Hey, we've got a good one. The Congo. At war with the UK. That's what we wanted. Demand the Belgium recognition of Zaire. We're going to call you the Congo. Big Congo. Little Congo, medium Congo, and this is Big Congo. Boom. And they give them freedom. Once again, that's not what I wanted. Okay, never mind. I'll do it myself. Justify on my claims. All right, boys, we're going to go to war anyway. Forget it. Justification complete. War. Advance. Africa. For the Africans. You can call the Upper Nile. Boom, more cores. Even though we're at war with practically everyone, we still have the option to ask the League of Nations for guns. Yes. Thank you. All the front lines have stalled. And the reason why is good old supply in Africa. Yay. I feel like if I'm an African nation, I should get some kind of bonus for supply. It feels kind of strange to me that, like, I'd have the same supply system as the Europeans. Meanwhile, revolution in West Africa and all of them joining Japan's faction. For some reason, Nigeria belongs to France. Chaos. The Central African Congo. You know, I think this little experiment with African unity is a bit of a failure. I think Japan's had more success than I've had. You know, I thought this was lost, but the West African front's practically secure now because the revolutions. They pulled loads of divisions out of the south. I don't know why, but they did. Classic frontline shuffling by the AI. Meanwhile, in the north, though, okay, that's not gone as well. Chad has declared war on France. Oh, the turnaround. This is it. Oh, don't you just love a bit of West Germany in Africa? I love this. The Socialist Republic of Guinea-Conakry has capitulated. Great news. These are dark times. My last source of Lend-Lease has declared war on me. It is practically us versus the world. Many battles later, many fallen men. I've got the font big. I think a font of that size is enough to say GG.
No, don't forget to subscribe.
Hey, check this video out next. This is the video for you. Click it. This one.